Hi, this is Bishop Bob Coulter with another word of encouragement for the week. This week, God led me to James 5, verse 16 in the Amplified. And it says, "The heartfelt and persistent prayer of a righteous man, i.e., the believer, can accomplish much when put into action and made effective by God. It is dynamic and can have tremendous power." Folks, you may be tired of hearing that we need to pray for the nation, but in fact, we cannot grow weary in well doing. We must be persistent in our prayer. I assure you, the enemy of our soul and the soul of our nation will be nonstop in his agenda. He is getting louder and louder, trying to discourage us from acting. For example, if you look closely at the People mainline media interviews for polls, you'll see that they ask many more people from the party that they support. I encourage you, if you have not already done so, to ask God what you should pray. Ask Him to put into your mouth His words. He knows best, so you'll be praying His will and not your own thoughts on how things should go. By praying these words, you will know that through your heartfelt and persistent prayer, you can accomplish much when put into action and made effective by God. It's dynamic and can have a tremendous power. We definitely need God to empower our prayers to overcome the enemy and his cohorts. Pray against those things God hates, like killing babies. We need to pray for godly men and women to fill the Senate and the House of Representatives also. You know, the enemy is boasting about his power, but let us pray and ask God once again to disarm principalities, powers, and to make a public spectacle of them, triumph over them in it. I encourage you to take your prayers and be more specific. I am personally praying that God will remove from power those people who will destroy this nation, that their political power will be removed. I am also praying that God will expose evil plots against our nation. The enemy of our nation, both outside and inside, has citizen plans to destroy this country. We know this because someone is financing the anarchists and the rioters. China has been exposed supporting some of those radical groups. Pray that any voter fraud will be exposed so that people can have confidence in the result of the election. Pray that God will continue to shower His grace and mercy on us and that our freedom will remain intact and we will remain a republic. Pray for our economic strength to increase, and pray that the pandemic would be completely destroyed so that once again the gospel throughout the world can be spread. Before the pandemic, we had 50 TMCI ministries that visited 65 countries. From March to September, we had none. Some of our nations are now opening up, and I know that 4 of our ministry are in foreign lands once again. You know, in fact, Cheryl and I are going to Zimbabwe and Kenya in November, leaving November 9th and returning on November 29th. We'd appreciate your prayers for that trip. Lastly, pray that the peace and unity that will return to this nation after the elections, that people will stop the violent rioting. What is happening in the United States reminds me of what happens in many third world countries where there is violence before and after the election. Let us pray that God's Spirit of love will grow and that our nation will be again one nation under God. Let God arise and his enemies be scattered.